City Sports Now with going out of the box, and I like to do this. I am, as one of my deep dark sessions was old time arena football. When Jim Foster put it, and every play had a penalty, and the AstroTurf at the hockey rink would actually come up, and all this sort of stuff. Tim Capper knows about those days. He does media relations, arenafan.com. There. All kinds of indoor football leagues, whereas arena football is down to 4 teams. Why is that?
Well, with the league itself, I mean, to be honest, the that were allowed into the league, I would imagine like last year, they were a team basically on an island, being the only team down in South Florida. So, I mean, the league throughout its history has gone through its issues where you have, unfortunately, had owners, which really should not have been in the AFL. But when it comes to the new regime in the AFL headquarters, especially led by, Ron Jaworski and Ted Leonsis, they seem to have a plan in place, and I kind of like what they're kind of leaning towards.
Okay, Washington Post just an hour ago broke a story, and it says Ted Leonsis has big plans for the Arena Football League. I haven't had a chance to read the article yet, but what have you heard there? What are the big plans for arena football?
Now, Ted Leonsis has always been very high in his OTT network over at Monumental Sports Network. It's the type of television that you can watch, like everybody does today, on your smartphones, DraftKings, which is supposed to go into even more detail next year. But I think it's just a matter of Ted is trying to make sure that the league is home to those type of people, the millennials, etc., where you can do just more than watch the game on TV. You can go ahead and bet during the game. You can go ahead and watch all these super stats pop up on the screen and that type of thing. So for those who may think that, why have a league where you have an owner with more than one team, I have no issue with it. But the thing is, if he seems to be dedicated, which he does seem to be, and his vision, I would not be very surprised if this league goes from anywhere from 8 teams next year to anywhere between 16 and 20, maybe by 2020 or 2022.
Well, you mentioned Albany, and you said hey, how come there's not a team in Green Bay? He wanted to know, because evidently there has been a push to put a team in Green Bay, Wisconsin. They support the Packers so well. I said, well, TV revenues in the NFL allow it so that you can have a team in the number 70 market that probably wouldn't be viable in one of the other major sports leagues. But yeah, if you got a team in Albany, what about Green Bay? What was the hang up there?
From what I understand, and as your caller asked, I mean, there was a team originally in Green Bay within the minor league system, Arena Football 2, that closed its doors in 2009. But really what it is right now is, I think it's where the current teams are located. As long as the league is able to get a great owner in the central U.S., say like a Detroit, bring Cleveland back, from there you will be able, I think, they may look at a Green Bay. It's very possible, because as long as they have a good owner, they're within a rivalry city, driving distance, you can go to 3 or 4 cities without that much of a drive. I really think that's what the AFL is trying to do, to bring in fans from across the area to more than, to 3 or 4 markets at the same time, just to follow your team.
I see. All right, Tri-City Sports Now. I'm talking to Tim Capper, who has a wonderful website called arenafan.com. And when I saw that the Washington Valor with a 2-10 record won the Arena Football Championship this past year, I was upset about it. I did not like that a 2-10 team would win it. Like I said, I'm an old Arena Football League fan. However, so I wanted to find out more about the league. And you're talking league owned all the franchises, and I think that created a very dangerous precedent because within 4 years, all those franchises were gone. And there wasn't any stability in the league, which it still seems is a problem. And, you have three teams in the history of the Arena Football League who have been nicknamed the Gladiators. You have had, this is the Washington Valor. I remember the Washington Commandos, for crying out loud. Wait a minute, who's the Valor? What's this going on? It's very difficult for me to follow when you have so much transaction. So the thing that I'm going to say, and when you had the league owning the teams, there was no commitment to a city. There was a commitment to a good arena deal. Look at what happened in 1989 when most of the teams played in neutral sites. And so this is where I'm asking, if you have one owner of my best players on that team and let the other one go to rot.
Well, when you look at, by the way, yes, true. When you look back at the early days of the league, Jim Foster was the owners of all the teams. But remember, the AFL back then was a completely different entity. But these days, with Ted Leonsis owning the Baltimore franchise and the DC franchise, I think it just goes to show that if it weren't for the league of not had its 31st season. But I understand your point. Usually, it's anywhere between a 2 to 3 year commitment for a particular city. I think it's a little bit slightly different now because when you have a man who's worth 1.1 billion, if I'm not mistaken, an Arena Football League team is just a drop in the hat when it comes to owning. Now, to your point about the players, the Arena Football League is not the WWE. It's not scripted in any way, shape, or form. It actually is football. The process for these things is done on the up and up. Recruit, so to speak, players to come and play for the team based on who they currently have as their head coaches, who their quarterback is, etc. So I get your point, but I think there has not been, especially this year with there being an all-star season where players from all four teams were, as I said, the top-tier teams that I think we've ever had in league history. Everything's good. I mean, I've not seen anything that would tell me that there was an issue where DC to Baltimore or vice versa.
Okay, well, this is actually one of the things that I am very skeptical about the future of the XFL and the Alliance, because again, all the teams are going to be owned by the league. And again, then what commitment do you have then to the individual cities? A, B, what commitment do you have, to not do this, to not, say, oh, that team, they're, 3-7 or something like that. Let's put their best players and let's make a deal. I've seen it happen in minor sports leagues here, Tim Capper, before. I used to be a baseball broadcaster for something called the United League, which is an independent minor league. And yeah, they would do that. They would shut down the losing teams at the end and put all their best players on championship teams. And you were sort of like, this is the reason why the United League isn't around anymore. Why did I watch opening day? That's not the same team I'm seeing now for the championship, that sort of thing. And it is, yeah, he's got a good reputation. But even history of baseball, it happened in the National League in the 19th century. You do have to look out for this. Why do you think the Arena Football League is better than the, say, Indoor Football League, the American Arena League, or, one of those leagues?
Well, and going back to the player thing, too, you know what? I really think that one of the things that keeps them in check is the Arena Football League Players Union.
Okay.
They just signed this past season before the 2018 season began. They signed a new 4-year contract that increased the pay, etc. And remember, unlike these smaller indoor leagues, indoor football leagues, they are, it's less pay. So even smaller cities than what the type of player that's going to the Arena Football League is the best player out there. But it's, again, I think CBA has a lot to do with it. And your point's right. I mean, but you got to admit, when was the last time that you saw a very lopsided trade and that same thought got into your head? Because I'm sure it could happen almost anywhere. Any football, any sport.
It's a good point. I mean, baseball may be going through a little bit of that now, even without the dual ownership. I mean, before any of us were alive, some just learning sports. I do remember in the early days of the league, there weren't many trades, so that sort of kept that on the up and up. I just am kind of curious about this and such. Now, by the way, I looked it up. Albany is the 57th largest TV market. You mentioned ownership, trying to expand from beyond 4 teams, which are right now all in the Northeast. Let me ask you this. What does the Arena Football League look for in expansion? I mean, what is, say, an entrance fee?
That some of the same information you're looking for kind of off the cuff, and it's not really known to the public. But when it comes to cities, and I think it goes back to the former commissioner, where Scott Butera, where they were looking for, if you have an owner that owns their own arena, if they happen to be a team, I'm sure that would be one of the pluses for a particular franchise. I think it just goes back to making sure that you have an owner who is committed to the league, has the money to back that up, and is able to run the franchise the way it should be. Because as we've seen in sports many times before, at least in minor league sports, if it's necessary that a team is not doing what they need to do, the league has no problem stepping in and taking over a franchise.
That's intriguing. And yeah, I know that does happen. I've actually remember a indoor football league team in Wheeling that was sold on eBay, as a matter of fact. It was rather successful. And you mentioned how they took over. There was an owner, he bought the team, he wrote, I'm not going to make any money on this. He was about ready to shut it down. And the league said, yeah, you can do that, but then we're going to take you for everything you're worth. And so that was a way to keep the franchise up and running, if you will. But do you have any idea what size markets the Arena Football League might be looking for? Is there anything too small? The reason I'm asking is I've always thought that here in the Tri-Cities, we're not as cosmopolitan as we could be. We're a top 100 market. We do have a facility where ETSU used to play indoor football of the 100-yard variety called the Mini Dome. It wouldn't be that much to, put up walls and nets around the playing surface and perhaps to have a team there. Tim, do you have an idea of what is too small for the Arena Football League?
Well, I know that the league at one point was looking at only a specific size of arena. So if you're looking at an arena that maybe only holds between 5,000 to 7,000 people, that may not be in their wheelhouse because it would be too small and it may not be profitable enough in order for them to have a team. I would not be surprised, like Albany itself, Spokane, Washington, and their maximum was just over 10. So it's, having a 10,000 seat arena with a team, yeah, it's very doable.
All right, there you go. Of course, we can wonder if ETSU would like it if they had an Arena Football League team or other. I even remember when Arena Football came about, they were that at the Mini Dome. That was just mentioned out there, and I always thought after that, So if Albany has one at number 57, why not the Tri-Cities at number 98 and within easy driving distance of Asheville, Roanoke, and Knoxville? There you go. That's my question right there. I'm going to throw it out to my audience here. Okay, Tim? Tim, like I said, folks, if you have ever liked the play, I really do. I've always liked the fast pace. I've always liked you make a tackle and a guy bangs off the boards like in hockey. I've always liked the fact that you don't punt. Every play is designed to score. You'll kick the field goal, it goes off the net. Okay, it goes off the net. you might actually be able to pick it up off the net and get a touchdown that way. It's happened. So I've always liked that. And I would like to see the Arena League improve and start producing the players that they once had, like Kurt Warner, who we all do a starting quarterback in the NFL. Anyway, just like I said, Ted Leonsis, somebody to look forward to now. Tim, keep up the good work with Arena Football, arenafan.com. It is, in my opinion, one of the best sites really in all of pro sports. I mean, it's legitimately Arena Football's sportsreference.com and probably even goes a little bit beyond that. So keep up the good work there. I'm going to have a grab bag of a variety of stories when we return Tri-City Sports Now. Probably wasn't the